Okay, everyone, let us continue the journey of a lifetime with Chapter 8, The Flightless Falcon. Everybody, I think I can safely speak for all of us when I say that this is gradually becoming the best story I've ever read so far. It's just so incredible. Lots of good emotion in this. And, I'm really in love with it. I'm really glad that I'm here reading it to you guys. So, with that out of the way, I'll save my thoughts for another time, but for now, let's read this story. I mean, this chapter. Let's read this chapter. Several days had passed since Plucky, Scarlet, and Dash had said goodbye to Buck and Heather and left the moorland. They were now in the wooded valley that stood, almost consistently in shade, before the rocky monoliths of the mountains. They had toned down to a slow pace after reaching the wood, so as to regain and maintain some energy for the long climb up and then down again. This woodland was mainly full of coniferous pine trees, but still had several smaller bushes and shrubs. There were also an abundance of raspberry bushes. These were a bit of a guilty pleasure for Dash and Plucky. Back in their childhood they discovered, warily, that they both liked raspberries, but never told anyone because it was just a thing for between them. Now that you mention it, I could try some raspberries myself. Dash was off in front of the pair of foxes, picking from several of the raspberry bushes. Plucky was lagging behind, like Buck had said, to go easy on his leg as it had started aching for the last few hours. Scarlet stayed next to him to make sure he was okay, but was then stopped dead in her tracks when she could overhear something. The red vixen stopped and raised her head, pricking her ears up, and moving them ever so slightly to find the noise. She stood deathly still and heard the noise again. It sounded like very light and ruffled footsteps. She looked around, but couldn't see anything, so continued to walk, but not before seeing a small figure move very quickly through the corner of her eye. She stopped again, but this time Plucky had noticed her action and also stopped. "Scarlet, what's wrong?" the fox asked his companion. She looked around, listening for anything unusual before she spoke. "I think we might be being followed," Scarlet announced, continuing to look around. "By what?" "I'm not sure." Scarlet then looked to Plucky and whispered to him, "Stay with Dash, I'll be back in a bit." "Where are you going?" Plucky asked inquisitively. "To find out who our stalker is," Scarlet replied with a cocky sideways smile. Scarlet quickly disappeared in between the shrubs, and Plucky caught up with Dash, who then offered him some of the berries she had picked. "Where's Scarlet gone?" Dash asked. "She thinks we're being followed, so she's searching the area," Plucky said. "Should we be worried?" "Not really, but I don't think she'd lie about it, so just stay close," Plucky reassured Dash. They were just as protective of each other. Scarlet was sneaking around the woodland silently and stealthily, listening carefully, and looking with vigilance for the perpetrator of the footsteps. She then saw it. It was a bird, from the looks of it, some bird of prey, but she couldn't tell what kind as its back was turned. It was weird, though, that a bird of this kind would be walking, exposed along the forest floor, not even on a tree branch. Scarlet took no notice of that, though, as she could see the bird was staring at Plucky and Dash, both of whom had their backs turned. She was wary of her friend's safety, no matter what this bird's intentions were. She did what she had to. The vixen pounced on the bird, pinning it right to the floor where it screeched in terror, which immediately got Plucky and Dash's attention. Ah! Please don't hurt me! I wasn't doing anything! The bird cried out with a young male voice, terrified. Like I'd believe that, Scarlet said sardonically. I mean it! I was just minding my own business! Then why are you following us? Scarlet shouted, interrogating the bird. Why? I wasn't following! Please! Ow! The bird pleaded as Scarlet pressed harder down on his extended wing. Scarlet, let him go! You'll break his wing! Plucky commanded her, having now run over. But... he's obviously terrified. He won't hurt us. Really, I won't. I wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, I would hurt things, but a falcon's gotta eat, right? Ow! Scarlet! All right. Scarlet huffed and released the falcon, who stumbled up to his feet and ruffled his feathers after the whole ordeal. He was only young, but he already had his adult colors. The feathers on his back and the top of his wings were a jet black, and so was his head, but gradually merged into a gray with black spots on his chest and face. He had a yellow hooked beak and feet which also featured the knife-edged talons that all birds of prey had. You okay? Plucky asked the bird, keeping his distance in case it did turn hostile. Think so. Nothing hurt, the falcon replied, after checking himself over. What's your name? Plucky asked again. Oh, my name is Perry, the falcon stuttered. He's Perry, Perry the bird of prey. Sorry. Look, I grew up watching Phineas and Ferb, and one of the things that I remember about it the most was Perry the platypus. I couldn't resist making the reference there. But I don't think the falcon is a platypus, it's Perry the falcon. I'm Plucky, and this is Dash and Scarlet. Did you say you were a falcon? Dash suddenly interrupted. Huh? Oh yeah. A peregrine falcon. Cool! Hey, is it true you go super fast when you go into a full stoop? Dash continued energetically. Obsessed with speed as she was, she had always wanted to meet a falcon. On good terms, of course. Peregrine falcons were mentioned in the past 2 chapters, weren't they? Oh, well, yes. Fastest animal ever, supposedly. But, personally I wouldn't know. Perry bragged before changing his manner. Why not? Well, promise you won't laugh. Perry paused, ashamed. Well, I never learned how to fly. How can you not learn to fly? You're a bird, Scarlet questioned, confused. Well, I can hop and hover over the ground, Perry explained. I guess it explains where our titular flightless falcon comes from, huh? Hop and hover? Plucky asked, having never heard of such a thing. Yeah, like this. Perry then presented the only airborne act he could do. He pushed off the ground and flapped his wings slightly, and it glided a short distance away before touching the ground again. And that's all you can do? Didn't your parents teach you how to fly? Dash inquired. Well, my parents are dead, Perry sadly declared. Or I don't know. They never came back to the nest, so I took my chances foraging and fending for myself rather than dying. He then almost burst into tears. Oh, you poor thing! Dash comforted the falcon, patting him on the back. Is that why you were walking along the ground? Because I thought it was strange, Scarlet asked calmly. Yeah, sorry for sneaking about like that. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry I attacked you. It's just, I don't have any friends. You guys are the only ones I've met who haven't run away from me screaming, Perry sobbed. Can I, come with you guys? Well, we are on quite a long journey. We're heading to White Deer Park. Do you know it? Plucky announced. No, never heard of the place. Sounds fancy, though. What is it? It's a nature reserve. It's a place where animals are protected by humans. It's quite safe-ish, and it's our home. Well, it's not like I'm staying around here for anything. I'd like to come along, if you'll have me. Of course you can come with us, and we can help you learn to fly if you want, Plucky smiled. How are you supposed to help me learn? You don't have wings, Perry asked, puzzled. No, but I have other friends who are birds, and I've seen them fly. Plucky, if you're referring to Whistler, then I think he's better off not having our help, Dash whispered to Plucky. Oh, yeah. Buddy's only band at landing, and there's Owl and Hollow and Speedy too. They're good flyers. Yeah, but Speedy never shuts up. I've never actually seen her fly, Dash joked. Well, before I met you guys, I befriended a hawk couple who were teaching their young. I've seen how they do it, Scarlet interjected. Oh, come on, flying can't be that hard, but I could do it. If I had wings, Plucky said confidently. So what do you say, Perry? You okay with us helping you learn to fly? Scarlet asked the Falcon. Well, I suppose it's better than trying to learn myself, Perry replied cheerily. Plucky, Scarlet, Dash, and their new companion, Perry the Falcon, continued to travel through the wood. On the way, they conversed about each other and how they had got to where they were. Before too long, they found themselves out of the pine wood and on the giant grass plateau at the foot of the mountains. The open air around allowed a strong, cool wind to pick up, despite the sun being out. Now it had managed to reach this side of the mountains in the late afternoon. Plucky decided this was a good spot to help Perry learn to fly. The plan was to get his speed up by riding on one of the fox's backs, of which Scarlet volunteered so Plucky could take it easy, while Dash and Plucky would run alongside telling him what to do. So are you clear what you have to do? Plucky asked. I think so. What was the first thing again? Perry spoke, a bit befuddled. Don't worry, we'll go through it step by step, Dash assured the Falcon. Just don't dig your talons into my back, Scarlet requested. Okay, Plucky said before they all posed to run across the highland. Let's go! And they all rushed off across the plateau. They tried it more than once. On a couple of runs, Perry did manage to get airborne. Highway to the danger zone. Gonna take a ride into the danger zone. But not for very long before his nerves got the better of him and he crashed to the ground. Highway to the danger zone. Continuously running was making the others tired and out of breath, which only made Perry feel worse because of the guilt. I'm sorry, guys. Let's just stop. Obviously I'm not meant to fly, Perry moaned before he was interrupted. Yes, you are! You have wings! You're a bird! Which means you can fly! Dash suddenly burst out, surprising both Plucky and Scarlet. But Say it! Say you can fly! Dash continued to motivate the young Falcon. I can fly! Say it! I am Perry! I am a falcon, and I can fly! I am Perry! I am a falcon, and I can fly! That's it! Now come on! Dash cheered. Okay, we'll try one more time, Plucky smiled. They had been doing this all afternoon and evening. But the group all got into position again for one last run before the sunset. They started running, Perry on Scarlet's back, and Dash and Plucky ran beside her, and they soon picked up some speed. "Spread your wings!" Plucky ordered. Perry obeyed and spread his wings as wide as they would go. The speed they were going was enough to feel some lift. "Flap! You've got to flap!" Dash shouted out. Perry listened and flapped, but he could feel his confidence fading. "Ah! I can't do it!" Perry cringed, unintentionally clamping his talons on Scarlet's back. "Talons, Perry! Talons!" Scarlet winced but continued to run at her pace. "Sorry!" Perry loosened his talons. "Perry, listen to me! You can do it! We all believe you can! You just need to believe in yourself!" Dash shouted out to encourage him. "And if you can't believe in yourself, Perry, believe in the Plucky, Dash, and Scarlet who believe in you." I had to. It was enough for him to try again. Perry closed his eyes and just let his motions guide him. He spread his wings and flapped over and over before he finally got some lift. "I don't even know if I'm doing this right." "Perry!" Dash shouted. "I must look like a moron." "Perry!" Plucky shouted. "I might as well just keep trundling along the ground like I'm used to." "Perry!" All three of them shouted. "What?" Perry finally answered back. The Falcon then opened his eyes, revealing that he was at least 10 meters off the ground. "You're doing it, Perry! You're flying!" Dash cried up to him while Plucky and Scarlet smiled widely. "I'm doing it! I'm flying! I'm actually flying!" he shouted with confidence. "Ha ha! Woohoo! Highway to the danger zone. Perry going right up through the danger zone. He's Perry, Perry the flying falcon. Flightless falcon no more. Go Perry!" Perry flew and glided about. Instinct took over now he was in the air, performing aerobatic maneuvers he had no idea he could do, while the others watched him from the ground. "We did that. We helped a falcon to fly," Scarlet said, amazed. Yes! Yes, we did!" Dash stated cheerily. "I think we've definitely earned a good rest today," Plucky declared. Yes, definitely." Scarlet winced slightly from the cuts Perry unintentionally made on her back. "Here, let me look at that," Plucky said, walking over to Scarlet, who had lied down on the ground. "It's just a few scratches. They'll heal." Scarlet shrugged as Plucky licked the wounds. "Wait, where's he gone?" Dash wondered after looking back into the sky, expecting to still see Perry flying about, but he was nowhere to be seen. "Is that him?" Scarlet said, pointing out a black speck in the sky that was traveling very fast towards the pine forest. "Yes, it is. He's doing a stoop," Plucky said as they witnessed the falcon traveling faster than anything they'd ever seen. Perry continued doing his first ever stoop, but it was over very quickly. He pulled up and flew over to them and landed gently, albeit a little lopsided. He probably had to practice that a bit. "Wow! That was amazing! Did you guys see me? I was like faster than anything!" Perry boasted briskly. "Yes, we're so proud of you," Plucky praised the bird. "Thanks. Thank you guys so much. I can't thank you guys enough. I know. You guys stay here. Food is on me tonight." "We can't ask you to hunt for us too," Scarlet said. "No, I insist. It's the least I can do. This morning I couldn't fly. Now I can thanks to you guys," Perry smiled. Actually, I think it was Dash's motivation that helped the most, Plucky stated, looking over to his friend. Perry, I think you did know how to fly. You just needed the confidence to actually try, Dash calmly announced. Well, I definitely do now. Thank you so much. Perry thanked the hare, and the two smiled at each other, but didn't feel like it was enough. Come here, Dash said, urging the falcon to hug her, which he did. Plucky and Scarlet laughed quietly. What's so funny? Dash asked. You two are just a bit of an odd couple, Plucky chuckled. Everyone said the same thing when they saw us together. Dash tilted her head with a smug smile. Touché, Plucky conceded. These four are true friends. And, what was the name that I was thinking of last episode for the trio? The Farthing White trio, I believe it was. I'll have to look at the old video again. Well, anyway, Perry, welcome to Team Farthing White. I hope you enjoy your time with us. Come on, we best find some shelter for the night, Scarlet stated, having noticed the sun starting to disappear under the horizon. Okay, I'll be back soon, Perry said, turning to leave to catch his and the two foxes' dinners. You sure you'll be able to find us? Plucky asked. Of course. Your red fur is easily noticeable from up there, Perry joked. He attempted to take off again, but stumbled. Guess I gotta practice that standing still a bit. He tried again, and succeeded, and the trio watched him disappear into the sky. Our trio just got up to a freaking quartet, just so you know. Plucky turned around to the sound of Dash already munching on some grass and looked at her puzzled. What? Dash said with her mouth full. She swallowed before speaking again. I don't have to wait for my dinner. Plus, all this running has made me really hungry. And thirsty. I could do with a drink too, Scarlet added, remembering they hadn't all drank since this morning. Okay, we should probably find some water first. There must be a stream around here somewhere. We are on a mountain after all, Plucky announced before they headed off to find somewhere to drink and sleep. It didn't take long for them to find some water. It was a pond with a tiny waterfall running into it, over a small overhang, and a stream running out of it. It wasn't big, but it was enough to quench their thirst. Perry soon arrived with 2 wood pigeons in his talons for Plucky and Scarlet, and he departed to catch one for himself. By the time Perry had returned again, it was almost dark, and instead of roaming across the plains in the night to find somewhere to sleep, they all decided to sleep next to the pond under the small rocky overhang. Everyone get some good sleep tonight. We're moving at dawn. I want us to get over that tomorrow, Plucky directed, looking up to the silhouette of the snow-capped mountains. You mean you want to get over that hill? Perry asked. Perry, that's not a hill. It's a mountain, Dash corrected him. Oh, I see, with the snow and all. That's going to be quite a climb. Well, that's why I suggested a good night's sleep, Plucky said before yawning widely and lying his head down on his legs. Night, everyone. The others soon followed his lead in falling asleep, and wished each other good night until only Scarlet was left awake. The young red vixen looked at her sleeping friends and smiled. Thankful she had such a group of friends. She then looked up at the snowy peaks. Tomorrow is going to be a long day, Scarlet muttered to herself. She too then laid her head on her legs, and drifted off to sleep with the others, unaware how true her words were to become. Oh. Next chapter is going to be a bit of a doozy, is it not? Well, on the bright side, Plucky, Scarlet, and Dash of Team Farthing White now have a new member to add to their ranks, and that is Perry the Falcon. Perry the Flying Falcon, eh? Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and look forward to the next chapter, but until then, I'm the Masked Ranger, saying, keep moving forward, never lose your smile, and remember the oath. See you in the danger zone, guys.